All right. Welcome to week 15 of NFL predictions. Last week I went 9-4 on predictions, putting my current record at 145-63. All right, starting off, we got Thursday night football between the Rams and the 49ers. The Rams beat the Bills in an absolutely insane game. Both teams scored over 40 points, and it was a fun one. And the 49ers were able to convincingly beat the Bears. And, I think this is going to be a really good game because you've got two teams that are fighting for a playoff spot. You know, they're both not currently winning the division. And if the Rams win this and the Seahawks lose, they could take over first place in that division. And I'm going to take the Rams here. I think they have been playing better. And the 49ers, they just had so much adversity go wrong against them. And this just isn't their year. Like, a lot has happened. Like, so much. It's insane. You know, a lot of season-ending injuries, a lot of off-the-field shit with some of the players. Like, it's tough for them. So I'm going to pick the Rams here. I'm going to pick them to win this game 20-13. All right, our next game we have is the Ravens taking on the Giants. Ravens had a bye week last week, and the Giants lost a close one to the Saints last week. And yeah, do we really have to think about this? The Ravens are a Super Bowl contender, and the Giants are literally one of the worst teams in the NFL. I mean, I'm obviously going to pick the Ravens. And, I think most people are. I'm literally in a pick'em thing, and they had the Ravens at 100%. That's how bad it is for this. So, yeah, Ravens win 23-7. All right, our next game we have is the Bengals taking on the Titans. Bengals able to get a thrilling win on Monday Night Football. There was a crazy sequence where they punted the ball, and then the Cowboys touched it, or they blocked it, then they touched it, and then the Bengals got it back. It was crazy. And the Titans lost to the Jags in a game. It was not a good game, but it was played, I suppose. And I'm definitely going to have to go with the Bengals here. I do think it will be interesting because the Bengals defense still is absolutely terrible. And the Titans, I will say, they played bad last week, but Will Levis actually has been looking he's been looking better these past few weeks. He started off horrible, had the meme-worthy plays and all that, but he's definitely a respectable quarterback, and I do think the Titans will put up a fight, but I still have the Bengals winning this one 31-20. All right, next up, we have the Commanders taking on the Saints. Commanders had a bye week last week, and the Saints were able to win against the Giants. It looked really bad considering the Saints are significantly better than the Giants, but a win's a win, I suppose. And this game, it could be interesting because the Commanders definitely haven't been playing up to the standard that they were at the start of the season. I think they're like 1-3 in their last games or something like that. So, this could be a good game. I'm still picking the Commanders because it's a safe pick. Jaden Daniels, I trust Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn more than I trust Darren Rizzi and who's going to be quarterbacking them? Because I think Derek Carr's injured. He's out for the season. He got injured in that game against the Giants. So it's going to be, I think, Spencer Rattler or maybe Taysom Hill. Honestly, I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. Commanders are going to win this one 27-17. All right, next up, we have the Dolphins taking on the Texans. Dolphins able to win in overtime against the Jets, which is very important for them to stay in the playoff race. And the Texans had a bye week last week, and they needed it because they have also, like the Commanders, been playing worse. Despite their good record, they haven't been playing, good these past few weeks. So this game's going to be interesting because you have the Dolphins who they have to win. They have to win in like the worst possible way to have any chance of making the playoffs. And the Texans, I mean, to be honest, they could probably afford to lose this game if they really wanted to. I mean, obviously they don't want to, but they really could. I mean, they're going to win the AFC South. Barring some insane collapse, they will win the NFC South, and they could actually clinch it. They could actually clinch it if they win and the Colts lose. So, maybe they're playing for that. I'm going to pick the Texans regardless because they're at home and they just came off a bye week. And honestly, I just trust CJ Stroud more than Tua. I mean, even though CJ Stroud's been playing worse than Tua these past few weeks, I mean, it's just I don't know, something about the Dolphins in December. They just play so much worse because it gets colder. And I mean, I know it's going to be in Texas, but, still. Texans 17, Dolphins 14. All right, next up, we got Game of the Week, Jets and Jags. Both teams have double-digit losses. Both teams have been extremely, extremely underwhelming. And yeah, this game will be played. Jets lost to the Dolphins in overtime last week, and the Jags were able to beat the Titans in a weird game. They won 10-6. And Mac Jones had one of the worst interceptions you'll ever see, but I guess you won. I don't know how much winning is going to help either of these teams, so this is essentially a tank bowl, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically when two teams that are out of the playoffs, which both these teams are, play each other, because there's no point for either of these teams to really be winning. You can't make the playoffs, you might as well lose for draft picks. So I am going to pick the Jets to win, quote unquote, but I don't know how much good it's going to do. I mean, it'll boost Aaron Rodgers' ego if he wins, so maybe you guys should probably lose, but regardless, I have the Jets winning this one 27-10. All right, next up, we have the Cowboys taking on the Panthers. Cowboys losing on Monday Night Football to the Bengals, and the Panthers losing to the Eagles at 1 o'clock on Sunday. And Cowboys, I mean, that one was pretty bad. They blocked a punt and then touched it and then couldn't recover it after they touched it, and the Bengals got the ball back and got a go-ahead touchdown drive that they probably didn't deserve. So, yeah, tough way to lose for the Cowboys. And the Panthers, they also had a tough loss. They lost by 6, and on their final drive, they had a wide-open Xavier Legette who dropped the ball, and it would have been a touchdown. That would have potentially won the Panthers the game. So both these teams coming off of just brutal losses. And I will say for the Panthers, they have been playing a lot better these past few weeks. Despite their losses, they have been playing better. I mean, they played the Eagles, Chiefs, and Bucks. I mean, those are 3 good teams, and the Panthers still aren't a good team, don't get me wrong, but it is good to see that Bryce Young is actually starting to put shit together, so good for him. And I'm actually going to pick the Panthers here. I mean, I trust Bryce Young more than I trust Cooper Rush. And, I mean, honestly, the Panthers are due for a win at some point, the way they've been playing. They're at home, and with the way Bryce has been playing, I'm going to have to take the Panthers here, 27-23. All right, next up, we have the Chiefs taking on the Browns. The Chiefs beating a division rival 19-17 on Sunday Night Football, and the Browns losing to a division rival on Sunday afternoon football. And I really don't want to talk about the Chiefs right now because they're 12-1. But they should honestly be 8-6 at best, or 8-5, whatever it be. Because, the way they're winning games is absolutely ridiculous how they keep getting away with this. Literally, their game last night, they won off of a doink field goal that should have never gone in. It's ridiculous. I could go on a 12-minute rant about them, but I won't. I'll restrain myself for you guys. But yeah, they just keep finding ways to win in the most ridiculous bullshit way possible, and they're gonna do the same thing here. They're gonna force 2 safeties, kick 2 field goals, and then block a I don't know. I'm running out of ways for this team to win, so I guess Chiefs win 12-6. Alright, starting off the 4 o'clock slate, we have a somewhat intriguing game. At least I think it's intriguing. I guess other people might think it's boring, but Patriots-Cardinals, and I mean, the Patriots aren't a good team, but they have Drake May, and Drake May, he's looked pretty good when he started. And I think the Patriots drafted right with him because he looks really good. Cardinals, they've lost 3 in a row. They actually had the division, the NFC West for a while. They were the number 1 team, and then they lost 3 in a row, and now they don't look very good. So I don't know. I feel like this will be like a competitive game because of the way the Cardinals are playing, and because the Patriots can show flashes with Drake May. But I'm still going to pick the Cardinals because, they have more talent. And, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you have to trust the talent, the more talented team when it comes to uncertainty. So I'm going to pick the Cardinals to win this one 20-10. All right, next up we got the Bucs taking on the Chargers. The Bucs able to beat the Raiders and the Chargers losing to the Chiefs. And I'm just not realizing, sorry Patriots Cardinals fans, I forgot to talk about who you guys played. So my bad for that. But anyway, this will be a fun game. I mean, the Bucs, they are currently the winner. They're currently winning the NFC South. And they definitely need to win this game to maintain that, because if they lose and the Falcons win, they will regain possession of the NFC South. And the Chargers, I mean, they need to win too, because there's a 3-way tie for the 5 seed, because the Ravens, Chargers, and Broncos are all 8-5, and if one of those teams lose, they're going to be the 7 seed. And they play the Broncos on next Thursday Night Football. So yeah, very big implications for both of these teams. And I'm going to pick the Chargers because, I mean, they just came off a loss, so they're probably pissed the way they lost, because the way they lost was absolutely ridiculous. I already went over it. And I mean, I feel like, there's more pressure on them, because I feel like the Bucs kind of know they're going to win the division. Chargers, it's like, you don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, they probably will because of how, top heavy the AFC is, but, they want a better spot, and they're going to fight for that. So I'm going to pick Chargers 23-20. Next up, we got the Bills taking on the Lions. The Bills losing a gut-wrencher against the Rams in a game where Josh Allen put up 6 total touchdowns. And the Lions able to win against their arch-rival Packers on Thursday Night Football on a game-winning field goal to improve to 12-1. And this is going to be game of the week in my opinion. And it's just, you got 2 really good offenses with 2 stellar defenses. The Lions are injured, but I mean, they're still going to fight for their coach, Dan Campbell. And, you've got both teams trying to fight for a 1 seed. Lions currently have a 1 seed. Bills, if they lose another game, they're not getting the 1 seed. I mean, I don't think they'll get it anyway, but if they want to get it, they have to win this game. And it's going to be a tough one for them because, the Lions are a gritty team. It's at home. They had a mini bye week because they played on Thursday Night Football. So it was fortunate for the Lions that they were able to do that. So I am going to pick the Lions here to win this game 27-24. All right, next up, we got the Colts versus the Broncos. Both teams coming off of bye weeks. And it's the Peyton Manning Bowl, the Horse Bowl, whatever you want to call it. And I'm a Broncos fan, so I'm obviously hyped for this game. It's going to be a really good game because both teams are fighting for something. The Colts, if they lose this game, they're basically kissing their playoff hopes goodbye. And if the Broncos can win this game, they wouldn't clinch a playoff spot, but they would set themselves up extremely, extremely well to make the playoffs. Like, they're still pretty well now, but they would be like even more suited to make the playoffs. And I mean, our schedule down the stretch is tough, so I think this is a very winnable game. We need to take advantage of this, and I think we will. The Broncos, they got a quarterback now. They're at home. They definitely have gotten, lucky their past 2 weeks playing the Raiders and the Browns, not two great teams. The Colts are obviously better than both of those teams. So we definitely need to play better this week if we want to win this game. And because, Anthony Richardson, he's still Anthony Richardson. He will do Anthony Richardson things. And our defense is one of the best defenses in the league. So I think we will take advantage of that. And I do think Jonathan Taylor will give us problems because our run defense still isn't that great. But I do think we'll be good. I think we'll win this game 20-16. All right, next up, we got the Pennsylvania Bowl. Both teams in Pennsylvania facing off each other. Both teams with double-digit wins. And this will be a fun one. Steelers versus Eagles. Steelers beat the Browns last week, and the Eagles beat the Panthers last week. And I will say, for the Eagles, that was a close game. You guys got pretty lucky that Xavier Legette doesn't have hands. And this will be a good game. I mean, the Steelers, as weird as this is to say, have been a very fun team to watch. They've been putting up a lot of points, which, it sounds so weird to say that, but it's true. With Russell Wilson, they've turned a new leaf on offense because they haven't had any sort of stability at quarterback ever since Big Ben retired. And now that they have it, their offense is actually a watchable unit now. And the Eagles are obviously a watchable unit. You got Jalen Hurts, Saquon, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. So many people on that offense. And I'm going to have to go with the Eagles. They're at home. And I obviously trust their offense more than the Steelers' offense. And the defense is Steelers have a good defense, but when it comes to playing against good teams, like most defenses, they struggle. So I'm going to pick the Eagles to win a close one, 30-27. All right, next up, we have a Sunday night football game. We have the Packers taking on the Seahawks. The Packers losing on a game-winning field goal to the Lions on Thursday Night Football, and the Seahawks able to beat the Cardinals and improve to 8-5 and maintain control of that division. And, you got a team, the Packers, that I don't think they're going to win the NFC North because the Lions and Vikings records are too good for them to just play catch up. Considering how good those teams are, I don't really think they'll win the division. So right now they're just kind of in the wild card, and they'll make the wild card. There's no way they're not going to. And then the Seahawks, you're 8-5. You've got a red hot Rams team that's right behind you because they just beat the Bills. The Bills are the best team in the AFC in my opinion. They just beat them. So the Seahawks need to keep winning games in order to maintain their division, because if they don't, the Rams could snatch it from them. So this is a big game for the Seahawks. I don't want to say it's not a big game for the Packers, because this is a big rivalry. But the Seahawks need this way more than the Packers do. And I'm still going to pick the Packers because I trust Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur more than Geno Smith and Mike McDonald. And no disrespect to Geno and Mike McDonald, but it's just Matt LaFleur's been coaching longer. He's a better coach in my opinion. Jordan Love is a better quarterback than Geno Smith. So I'm going to pick the Packers to win this one 27-23. All right, we have our first of 2 Monday Night Football games. Why the NFL does that is beyond me, but the Bears taking on the Vikings. The Bears got killed by the 49ers last week, and the Vikings killed the Falcons last week in a Kirk Cousins revenge game, with the Vikings ultimately getting those sweet, sweet revenge. And this is a game, I guess. It is a division rivalry, so it will be a close game in my opinion. But the thing is, it's like the Bears are 4-9, and they just have they're on a 7-game losing streak, and they just haven't been playing that good. I mean, Caleb Williams has looked better ever since Shane Waldron's been fired, but the thing is, I mean, they just haven't been able to put it together as a team to get any wins out of it. So it's like, I mean, it will matter in the long run because Caleb playing well is very important to this team, but for this season specifically, I mean, not really. And I do think the Vikings will win this one pretty easily. I think they'll win 24-19 with some garbage time touchdown, making the score look better. And the last game of the week, we have the Falcons taking on the Raiders. The Falcons getting killed by the Vikings last week, and the Raiders getting killed by the Bucs last week. So both teams coming off of losses. Although the difference is the Falcons still have shit to play for. The Raiders, not really. They're 2-11, and winning at this point would not exactly do them any good. So I'm going to pick the Falcons to win. I do think the Raiders will make it like kind of close because Brock Bowers is an animal. I don't know what he'll do in this game because, you know, Aiden O'Connell is going to be out for this season. He got injured last week, so it's going to be, I believe, Desmond Ridder starting. So good luck with that. I guess technically Desmond Ridder revenge game. I didn't even think about that because of how much of a nobody he is now. But I mean, he used to play for the Falcons, and Falcons fans definitely know who he is. So yeah, Falcons win 20-15 is my prediction. And that's going to do it for my weekly predictions. Hope you enjoyed the video. Here's all the predictions if you want to look at them one more time. And I will see you guys in my next video.